What is going on, everybody? KMess here for the Birds vs. Boys Dallas Cowboys Week 15 recap. The Cowboys were on the road for the third straight week and come away with their third straight victory. They were in New York, well, actually New Jersey, taking on the division rival New York Giants for the second time this season and went for the sweep and completed the sweep. The Cowboys win the game 21-6. It wasn't the most beautiful game as an offensive perspective, but Cowboys fans, we've kind of been used to that since the Patriots game. Now, I have the highlights here, doing something different here. So instead of just seeing my face this entire time, you can actually watch the highlights while I am talking about the game. So Dak Prescott was 28 of 37 for 217 yards and one touchdown, no interceptions, and he was sacked 3 times in this game against a somewhat malign Giants D line, but Leonard Williams was there playing well. Old Jalari, the rookie, played well, and Lorenzo Carter getting his first two sacks of the season. So wasn't thrilled about the sacks, but let's start with the offensive line. They brought Connor Williams back, and it seems like it was the right move. He had no penalties. The running game was better than it's been. Zeke ran for 52. Pollard ran for 74. And Zeke had that 13-yard touchdown rush that was his longest rush in a long time. He looked a little bit fresher, but it seemed as though the running game was kind of getting back on track with Connor Williams back at left guard. And that was without the starting left tackle, right? Tyron Smith was out, so they were rotating Terrence Steele and Ty Nsekhe. Terrence Steele is not a left tackle. I've been saying this all season. He played well at right tackle when Lyle Collins was suspended. Thank God they're keeping Lyle there now. But Terrence Steele is not a left tackle. This team needs Tyron Smith, and after this season, this team is going to have to go shopping in the draft for a replacement for Tyron Smith. So hopefully Tyron gets back. I don't know if he's going to play this week against Washington or if they're going to rest him again. I would love to see him in the Arizona game. However, I'm very happy that they did the un-Cowboys thing and brought Connor Williams back into the fold after replacing with Connor McGovern, which we all saw. Unfortunately, that experiment didn't work. But what did work was bringing Connor McGovern back at fullback, that Hulk package back. He was actually even the number 2 progression on the Dalton Schultz touchdown from Dak Prescott. If you notice that in the end zone, Dak looked to McGovern second, was covered, and then ultimately threw the touchdown to Schultz. But the running game, the passing game seemed to be getting back on track with Williams back at left guard and McGovern getting back into that Hulk fullback package. Is there something wrong with Dak? That's the big question everyone's asking. I don't think so. I think he's having a hard time with this cover 2 shell defense taking the top off. I don't know if he's having trouble reading defenses, if he's second guessing himself, if it's because he's being held back because they're not letting him run. The Kellen Moore is holding him back with bad play calling. It just seems to be a kind of combination of things with Dak. What I do like is he has 2 games going forward at home against Washington and then against Arizona. He's a different quarterback. This is a different offense down the field and especially in the red zone when they're at home. So hopefully they can get back on track. I'm not overly worried about Dak moving forward. This offense, like I said, has 2 home games going forward and then a game in Philadelphia to try and get on track before they head into the playoffs. They're definitely not playing their best ball, obviously. It's in there. We saw it in the beginning of the season, but it's not all on Dak. One, I'm going to go to Kellen Moore. I think the play calling has been somewhat horrific lately, especially in the red zone. If you haven't noticed it, go back and check the tape of when this offense is in the red zone. It seems as though they stop attacking forward. Besides the Zeke run from the 13 that they scored on, all the plays seem to go sideways, whether it's one of those screens out to CD or a dump pass over to Pollard or Zeke. They're not running crossers. It just, I don't know what's happening in the red zone. So hopefully Kellen Moore gets back on track with that. And the somewhat strange play calling too, with the 3rd and 7 in the red zone and they run with Zeke. He only runs for 2. McCarthy said they were going to go for it on 4th down, but because Zeke only got 1 to 2 yards, they decided to go for the field goal. So play calling has been somewhat questionable as well. Along the lines with, I constantly hearing from the receivers and from Dak that their teams are playing this shell defense. They're not letting us push it downfield. Okay, run slants, run inside routes. You have 2 of the best slant runners at the receiving position in the entire league in Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup, and they seem to be gone. So I don't understand, if you know teams are playing you this way, adjust, figure it out. That's why you're a play caller in the NFL. That's why people were saying you were going to be a head coach, Gallimore. So figure it out. Dak, figure it out. Receivers, figure it out. If you want to be called the best receiving core in the league as a squad, figure it out. That's what you need to do. So I'm hoping they get on track, like I said, the next 2 games. And then CD, he called it out himself. He played terrible in this game. He had 3 drops. It seemed as though the sun was in his eyes. Well, if the sun is in your eyes and getting on that visor, take the visor off, man. We need CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup bowling out for this team to have a chance to go deep into the playoffs and on a hopeful Super Bowl run. So they need to get back on track. It was not obviously the best game for the receiving core. Amari Cooper only had 2 catches, I think, for 8 yards, two hitch plays for 4 yards. He seems to continue to disappear on the road, which is not a good thing. So need to get that on track. I'm not going to dump all over everything this team did. I'm not going to be one of those people like, oh my God, style points. They only won 21-6. The Dallas Cowboys just won 3 straight road games, and they covered all 3. 2 of those games being against division rivals. I don't want to hear that they played bad quarterbacks. I mean, we saw what the Saints defense just did to Tampa Bay, and Dallas was able to go to New Orleans and win that game. Washington was obviously down players, but that's still a division game. And the Giants defense still have playmakers on both sides of that ball. So I'm going to take the 3 wins on the road in a row, the 3 covers in a row, and I'm going to run away and hide and be happy that this team is 10-4, the number 2 seed, and very close to clinching this division. So it seems that this fan base is just all over the map, and I get it. This offense showed us what they're capable of, and they set the bar very high. So when they're not scoring 40 burgers every game, we're going to freak out. But guess what? What wins in December? What travels? Defense. And we finally have a defense that I have not seen in a long time in my lifetime, probably since the 90s, maybe early 2000s. This defense being healthy has a chance to do something very special, something like the Ravens did. And trust me, we have a much better offense than that Ravens team did with Trent Dilfer, something like the Broncos did when they beat the Seahawks years ago in the Super Bowl. This defense is going to travel, and this defense is going to keep this offense and this team in every single game. And they're going to be able to hunt and attack. And that's what we see Dan Quinn doing now that he has all of his pieces. And he didn't even have Osa Odigizua and Tristan Hill in this game. And guys stepped up. Hamilton played well, and a huge shout out to Carlos Watkins, the way he played in this game, stepping up in the defensive tackle position. But once they're full strength, with Tristan Hill in there and Osa, they're going to be a problem. Neville Gallimore is a monster. Coming off the injury, he looks like he is in the best shape of his career. He's put on beef, and he has an outstanding motor. And then Tank Lawrence, he is just an unbelievable player, playing outside, playing inside. The first play of the game, he was kicked inside, and he tackled Saquon Barkley for a loss. And bang, that set the tone immediately. He came inside, knocked the ball up with a Jordan Lewis pick. They had 4 turnovers in this game again, 3 interceptions, and a fumble recovery by Carlos Watkins from that punch out from Demarcus Lawrence. That was just absolutely beautiful. Saquon Barkley has only ever had, that was only his 3rd fumble in his career, and only the first time that he actually lost a fumble. So Randy Gregory, Micah Parsons, I can't say enough about Micah Parsons. The way he covered Kenny Golladay out in the flat on that wheel route, played cornerback. Like no other linebacker in this league can make that play. So if there's something to be excited about, it's this defense and the potential that they have to bring a championship to Dallas. Guys like Trevon Diggs getting his 10th interception. He's been playing the best ball all season in these last 3 games. Consistently playing well the cornerback position. Jordan Lewis has been playing great. Anthony Brown has bounced back. Jayron Kearse has been the biggest offseason free agent pickup for this team. And they're getting Donovan Wilson back this week. That is just another thumper, another guy that's going to bring attitude to that safety position. I mean, this defense comes with swag. They play fast. They are just a fun bunch to watch. I mean, you just can't get enough of seeing Randy Gregory, Neville Gallimore, Micah Parsons, and Demarcus Lawrence on a line rushing a quarterback. This is what's going to bring them a chance to win a championship. Get the offense back on track. They don't have to score 40 points a game, okay? Control the ball. Let this defense hunt. Let them do what they do. Let them get turnovers and then give the offense short fields to score points. I'm not one of these people that is going to freak out, as I just got an update right here that Chris Godwin tore his ACL and is out for the remainder of the season. Wow, that is a big hit for the Bucs going forward for their trying to go back-to-back championship. Are there places to improve? Absolutely. Am I thrilled with the way Dak Prescott and this offense has been playing? Absolutely not. But I'm not going into panic mode because the way the defense is playing and because this team is 10-4 and because this team is the 2 seed, because this team only has 1 loss in the NFC. If they can take care of business the next 3 games, they have a legitimate chance at the 1 seed or the 2 seed. It's that 4 hole that you don't want to be in. I want nothing to do with the Rams in the first round. If this team could somehow get a bye and not have to worry about going to Lambeau in the playoffs, that would be massive. But got to take it one game at a time. They have Washington coming up at home on Sunday night, the day after Christmas. And Washington's obviously coming off a very short week because they're going to be playing in Philadelphia on Tuesday night because of all the COVID issues. So that's another advantage this team has. And then, hey, Arizona the week after that, and Arizona just lost to Detroit. So Cowboys Nation, take a deep breath. Like I said, Arizona just lost to Detroit, right? They lost to Detroit. And then the Bucs lost. They got shut out by the Saints. The Cowboys continue to find ways to win games, and that's what I like. It's not all about style points. There's no committee here like in college. Just win the games. And they're winning the games, and they're covering. It's all we can ask them to do. Get better every week. We need Dak Prescott to start figuring out to read the shell defense a little bit better. Have Kellen Moore figure out a little more play calls. I don't want to hear this. He's sandbagging. He's not showing things until the playoffs. Stop with that. That's embarrassing to even talk about. They're in a slump. They're slowly going to figure it out. And a way to figure that out too, Tony Pollard's your best running back. Flat out. Even with the torn plantar fasciitis, he looked explosive. He looked fast. He looked in control against the Giants. He is the best running back on this team. He needs to get the majority of the touches and have Zeke in there for pass pro and, the occasional touches. This is like the Julius Jones, Marion Barber situation where we knew Barber was the better player. He was getting the ball in the fourth quarter to close out games. And then when the playoff came around, they gave the ball to Marion Barber the bulk of the time against the Giants because, hey, well, they knew what it was. So this team is a legitimate shot to do good things. Very good things. Stay the course. Take a deep breath. Enjoy the win. That's 10 of them. And we're moving on to Washington. 2 games at home and then the game at Washington to close out this season. I will be talking about those games and more on the next episode of Birds vs. Boys with Aiden that will drop this Thursday as we look forward to week 16. So make sure you check out Birds vs. Boys on Twitter, Birds vs. Boys Pod. Check out me on Twitter, KMess22. Anywhere podcasts are found, you'll find Birds vs. Boys. Every week, Aiden and I do a show that drops on Thursdays. We have great guests. We had Chris Arnold last week from 105.3 The Fan. We have big-time personalities from Philly and from Dallas usually on, or big-time national media like Lance Meadow, who's joined us twice this season. So make sure you tell your friends, tell your family. If you're a football fan, not even just a Cowboys fan or an Eagles fan, you can be a fan of any NFL team. We do an Around the NFL segment every show, and then Aiden and I each do a reaction show like this one at the end of the games of the week. So we will be looking forward to week 16 on this week's episode of Birds vs. Boys, like I said, that will drop on Thursday, which shall be the eve of Christmas Eve. But everybody have a safe, happy holiday season. We'll talk about all about the new protocols with COVID moving forward, what that means for our teams. But yeah, Cowboys fans, take this win. Enjoy it. That's 10 of them, right? If you win 10 games, you're a good team. This is a very good team that has a chance to do very, very special things. We just need to get this offense back on track and continue to let this defense hunt. This is Birds vs. Boys, Week 15 recap of the Dallas Cowboys 21-6 win at the Meadowlands against the Giants. The sweep of the Giants.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds vs. Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Yep. Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things.
I got 2 phones.
Upset alert. Upset alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there.
There's no hope. Hope is gone.
If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope.
I'm going to drink bleach.
That is the team you promised me you were going to be this year.
This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.